Hey, my Taurus babies, what's happening? It is the beginning of another week. Can you believe that? We are almost to the near end of September, getting ready to flow into October. Taurus, this is going to be Taurus and Scorpio sitting in a tree, Kissing, for September, October 2019. See my cards going all over the place. There's a sense of excitement here. What's going on, Taurus? What's going on with you and your Scorpio? So let's see. Housekeeping. Thank you to everybody that has liked, shared, subscribed, commented, and done it all. Thank you. I appreciate you. I know. For now till the end of October, I am doing private readings for 20 bucks. Pretty much will be a end of the year, next year reading, personal reading. So if you are interested, check out my information below. I'm at tarotatarot@gmail.com. What the heck else? Taurus, what's going on with y'all? It feels like y'all are all over the damn place. Let me get these cards shuffled up here. See if we can get this figured out. I just realized that a person that I know is a Scorpio. I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to say nothing else. But there's a sense of excitement here. I feel that. I don't know where that's coming from. I guess we will find out when we do the card. So this is going to be 3 for the recent past, 3 for current energy, and 3 for future energy. I'll pull 2 for the overall. Might as well get to those now. Temptation and fertility. And then I'll pull oracle cards at the end. So your overall energy so far, temptation and fertility. The recent past, Taurus, with your Scorpio. Discontent and boredom. Harmony. Conflict and defeat. Current energy, new beginnings. Mental conflict. And at the end of that, the sacrifice. Future energy, passion ignited. Partnerships and alliances, and balance. And let me get up really quick and cut my other fan on before I absolutely melt. All right, so now this is an enhanced reading. We're doing 2 decks. So overall energy, Taurus, with your Scorpio. This is a new relationship for some of y'all. Y'all are just getting into this. The temptation card pulls the Knight of Wands. Fertility pulls the Fool card. Recent past, discontent and boredom pulls the 3 of Cups. Harmony, oh hell, pulls the 3 of Swords. Conflict and defeat pulls the 10 of Swords. Wow. New beginnings pulls the Tower. Mental conflict pulls the 3 of Wands. It's a lot of 3s. Sacrifice pulls the 2 of Coin. 8 of Coin is on top of the passion ignited. 6 of Cups is on partnerships and alliances. And the Ace of Coins is on the balance card. So, what the hell? Okay, so this is going to be one of those readings that's going to go in 50 different directions. It's not going to resonate with everybody, but there are bits and pieces in here that will resonate with most of you. Eat the fish, leave the bones. I'm looking at the current energy. So this part, and I'm going to have to do this in parts because it's coming to me in parts, so just bear with me. The current energy, Taurus, there's been or there is being a shakeup somewhere in your life, and I'm not surprised. You're Taurus and you're going through all kind of shit. But there's a shakeup going on. I'm dealing with the current energy right now. And it's bringing you around to this Scorpio. Um, there's nothing set in stone yet. A lot of you feel like, and this is, I know y'all like, you didn't even do the overall energy yet. I know. I'm dealing with what the universe is telling me to deal with right now. Your challenge, the mental conflict with the Three of Wands. This is the only three on the board that is not really talking about a third party situation. However, if it were reversed from this deck, it would be talking about spinning your wheels. And a lot of you right now are going through this mental conflict shit of what the fuck is really going on. I don't feel like I'm going forward. I don't feel like I'm going backwards. And you kind of had a Scorpio just kind of lurking around, which is kind of cool because they don't want to interrupt or interfere. I'm talking to one group of you. For others of you, this is already a relationship, but it's not very old. And I don't know, Taurus, you're still feeling like you're spinning your wheels. Your overall energy with the Knight of Wands and the Temptation, a lot of you are trying to get into the moment thing. And you really are trying to, you're trying to deal with things as they're coming to you. This is not going to resonate with all of you. This is fire. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you may have that in your chart, in your natal chart, strong, or you may be, be dealing with an ex that is on their way out the door, exit stage left, but there is still some temptation there. I know this is a Taurus and Scorpio reading. Y'all like, what are you talking about at fire sign? Yeah. This is the energy that's coming back. A lot of you are dealing with an ex that's on their way out the door. That's the only way I know how to put this. And fortunately or unfortunately, this is kind of your overall energy as it relates to your relationship with your Scorpio. And this is definitely for newer situationships and relationships. It's there. It's there. Head and heart. Fertility. It's not the baby thing, but the spark has been sprung, if you will, and it feels like it's the spark is there for both of you, but this is something that's kind of unfolding. And so here you feel like you are taking a risk, or you're going to have to take a risk to get into this situation with the Scorpio. And that taking a risk is not a bad thing. If you're walking away from something old, for some of you, for others of you, this is about being in the moment. It's about being right here, right now, and not having the temptation to fall back into some other madness. For others of you, this is really feeling like, and you're carrying around the energy of an ex that you may have just broken up with, or someone may have tried to come back. But this is all going on while you're trying to kick it with your Scorpio, and that's your overall energy. And that's not, don't think that's, I'm reading it wrong. I'm not. A lot of times we do get into situations and we may not even realize it. We're carrying the energy of our ex around because the situation was either very traumatic or just dramatic, and a lot of drama and chaos and bullshit, whatever. And it may not have been anything that went on for a long time. It may have been a year, it may have been 6 months, but you still are kind of carrying that energy. And the same can be said for you as well, to kind of pull yourself up out of your past emotional stuff and get into the present moment. I think a lot of you were trying to do that anyway, but this ex, we're going to come back to that. Your recent past, Taurus, discontent and boredom. You were in a situation that had 3 or more. Or more. Or more. Did I say more? Okay. And now that's making sense. And you are, a lot of you at this point were, recent past, you just discontent, you're angry, you're frustrated, and then at the end of all of that, you're bored because shit just was not working out. Mind you, as I'm saying all of this to you, I can feel this Scorpio energy just kind of oozing in. And if any of you know what a scorpion, a real scorpion looks like, and I live in a place where they got a gazillion of them, they kind of skitter. but then they can get real crafty, and just like other bugs, they can squeeze and get into shit that you wouldn't think they'd be able to get into. So with that said, I kind of feel this Scorpio energy's been lurking. For some of you, this may have been, and I'm not saying it in the malicious sense of the word, but they could have been a stalker. They could have been watching you. They could have been checking you out on your job, or if you live in a smaller community, you know, the same person you keep bumping into at the grocery store, at the laundromat, however that's resonating with you. So the energy is here for Scorpio. Don't be confused if you don't see a lot of cups on the board. This is some strong shit. Hold that thought. Recent past, back to the Three of Cups and discontent and boredom. A lot of you are coming out of situations with somebody else in just a hot, funky, fresh ass mess. At some point, you to flip that on there, you met your cups. You met your Scorpio, but you still had all this other bullshit going on. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm just kicking it back the way it's coming to me. A lot of you had to break up out of some shit, had to deal with some shit. Again, that Knight of Wands up there on the Temptation card for your overall. This is kind of coming back to this card right here, and just not having any kind of harmony going on in your life at all, because you're dealing with some clown that's got a whole lot of third-party bullshit going on. For some of you, this may have been an air sign, an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And you got this energy, and I'm gonna just put it, I'm gonna throw this shit up against the wall. I think a lot of you are in a place where you're weighing your options, and this is your current energy. I know y'all like, would you stop going back and forth? Work with me here. You're weighing your options. I'm gonna just throw this out here. Scorpio energy again is strong in this, but you are weighing your options, and it feels like a lot of you are still dealing with this ex or past person that's kind of just got this lurky, smirky energy going on, and you weighing your options. I don't know what else to call it. It's not, as I usually say with this card, wishy-washy energy, but it's really about trying to get back in balance and trying to weigh your options and look at what it is that some of you are missing this other person. And again, it could have been a fire sign, an air sign. But at any rate, you're looking at the sacrifices on either side of this that you would be making, either to go back into an old relationship. And I know y'all like, this is a Taurus and Scorpio. I know, but this is what Taurus is dealing with right now. A lot of little predicament where you still have a lot of feeling for this past person, but you had enough interaction with your Scorpio at this point to know shit is very different with this person than it was this other person that's been fucking around and doing a whole lot of crazy shit. Ultimately, let me go back to the recent past. That ended or stopped, or you stopped it, they stopped it, one way or the other, and the conflict and defeat, that's where all of that on the bottom is coming from. Just done. Just done. Dead in the water. Poof, gone. So, but it did something to you, Taurus. And I think for a lot of you, it helped put some certain things in perspective about what it is that you're looking for in a relationship, particularly when it comes to commitment and loyalty. And I feel like a lot of you coming out of whatever bullshit this was you were in, you didn't get any kind of commitment, any kind of loyalty, and you still got this Scorpio lurking around, hot dog it. So again, with your current energy, it's a tower. And a lot of you just coming out of this tower, breaking up with the other person. But this shakeup is really making you free to deal with somebody else. Hence, we got the New Beginnings card. Pow. Again, they're spinning your energy, or spinning your wheels, feeling like you're not making any forward motion. This is going to be your challenge, Taurus, with your Scorpio. You're going to have to let some of this energy go. Whatever's going on with the ex, whatever. You're going to have to put the kibosh on it, put some emotional distance on it, burn it, blow it up, however that's resonating. But that's what you're going to have to do so you can get out of this mental conflict. I think a lot of you are comparing the two. And from what I can feel, there's no comparison. Whatever's going on with the Scorpio, they like you. You heard me. Not a little bit, a lot. So if you want to move ahead with the Scorpio, you need to change up your energy, because they will, if they haven't felt it already, they will at some point feel you trying to process all of this, you know, the distant stares all out into space, or, you know, mumbling to yourself, or getting up and just walking away. That kind of shit tells on you, especially with people that don't really know what's going on. It just looks like you're acting strange. I'm just throwing this shit up here. Don't ask me. Try to clear whatever excess energy, I said excess energy, you got going on with the ex. Try to clear that up so you can, at least for yourself, get out of this mental conflict, spinning your wheels, comparing one against the other. I feel like a lot of you are doing that. You're trying to compare this new Scorpio to your ex, and the Scorpio is doing it hands down, but you've got so much, you still have ties with this person, and even if you're not dealing with this ex, you still have love in your heart for them. They did not do you right. I don't see nothing good about what they did to you, and again, at the end of that, it's just dead in the water. Fuck it. Done. Try to clear that energy, Taurus. When we get to your future energy, it's going to be about the work and working towards a new relationship with the Scorpio, and it's going to be some work. Don't think you're going to just sashay off into the sunset and be smiling and grinning. Okay, I let my ex go and I got Scorpio. No, it ain't going to be that easy. It's going to be some work, and this is not a bad thing. This is where good, solid relationships begin to grow and flourish. When you are able to put in whatever work, if you've got goals, at some point it feels like some of you are going to sit down with this person. And this is going to be a quick relationship. This ain't going to be no, you know, oh, we dating for 22 years. Nuh-uh. This is going to move. Once you get out of this energy that you're in towards, actually it can be moving now, but I still feel like a lot of you are hung up on this past shit. You know, and this happened fast for a lot of you. For some of you, it was a decision you made to cut somebody out, or for others, it was a decision that someone else made to cut you out. So however that's resonating for you, but it's something that feels like it just pow, came out the blue and boom, you and whoever else is done. And so when things break up like that, when they break up abruptly, or you don't feel like you have total closure on a situation, you will schlep around this energy of your ex. The best thing that you can do to move past that is to put yourself into social situations. No, I'm not suggesting that you go out, hang out with your friends and stay out till 5 o'clock in the morning. However, having dinner with your family on Sunday or Saturday, doing something if you've got kids, with your kids, get it, and just pulling yourself out of yourself and out of your routine, that will help you to emotionally begin to put some distance on this, so you can begin to focus on what you have right in front of you. Again, the warm fuzzies, y'all gonna get to the warm fuzzies. And again, and I'm talking about sex now, let me just put that out there. You're gonna get to the sex and the warm fuzzies. It's going to happen. You're not going to be, I don't want to say you're not going to be ready for it, but you're not going to be ready for the potential. Let me just put that out there. You know, when you have sex with somebody, you just begin to see how you can deal with a person. Keeping it real. You should not be basing the relationship just on sex if you're trying to have a committed relationship. However, with that will come some work. It may be that you're talking about maybe traveling, taking some trips, so you can meet family. We're rolling up on that time of the year with the holidays, all that kind of stuff. So you're going to be making plans and working hard to get this off the ground. With the partnerships and alliances on top of the 6 of Cups, all that past shit getting ready to get past. And this, for some of you, feels like someone you've known, but in a different capacity maybe. Maybe this is somebody from work, you know, and you just, hey, hi, bye, and then something clicked. For others of you, this may be a social type thing where you met somebody doing something in a group, and you kind of been just noticing each other and circling around each other, but not really jumping in that cup. But here you go, future energy, jumping into that cup. A lot of times this is about past relationships, this may resonate again with you as a past relationship in a different form. There's your partnerships and alliances. It don't get no better than that. And in this reading for this coupling of Taurus and Scorpio, this is very important. I don't know why. I'm just telling you what I'm being told. But actually, the partnership itself, it feels like when you start moving forward with this relationship, you're going to have more of a friendship, which it feels like for a lot of you, you haven't had either in a long time or at all. And so the dynamics in this relationship, if you want to do the compare and contrast thing with whoever the other asshole was, the contrast there would be how much easier it is to communicate. If you had any kind of problems with this past relationship, communicating with your Scorpio, this partnerships and alliances is telling me the communication is going to be good, and it's going to help strengthen the relationship. But beyond that, it's going to help you, Taurus, get some self-confidence back, because it feels like you've been talking and no one has been listening, and you are at a point where you're like, fuck it, I'm not saying nothing to nobody because nobody's listening anyway. I'm here to tell you this little situation with your Scorpio, this is a good time to open up and talk. They want to know about you. And this person really likes you, Taurus. I don't know what y'all doing, but they really like you a lot. So I would take a moment and acknowledge that. And I don't mean go up to the person and go, you really like me, don't you? No, that's not what I'm saying. Take a moment and sit down and reflect. Because you attracted this. Let's not get that part twisted. This is stuff you manifested. So take a moment and think about, if you want to be doing some comparison and contrast shit, what the differences are. And how you feel with this Scorpio. Do you feel like you had a breath of fresh air? Do you feel the warm fuzzies when you talk to this person? Are you laughing more? I'm just saying, those are things to think about. You're coming out of a situation where you've been kind of shut out in the cold, nobody's been talking to you, fuck you, I'm not talking to you, and just block your phone number and delete you and all kind of bullshit. If you're coming out of that and you're coming into something where someone likes you, they genuinely like you, so they're going the extra mile, they're calling you, they're texting you, they're checking on you to see how you're doing, that kind of shit. It's going to feel different, and it should, and you should acknowledge that. I'm going to just put that there. At the end of all of this, y'all are just kind of rolling around in the stones right now. And I think the universe is probably cutting you some slack, Taurus, with Uranus in retrograde right now. Give you some time to process this bullshit. Because at the end of all of this is where you're trying to be. In balance. Once you get past this, you'll see. And there you go. There's your new relationship. Straight up out the pot. There you go. It's not a bad reading. It really is about you, Taurus, and I feel you. If you're emotional about something from your past, deal with it as best you can and get past it. Again, the best thing to do and the best thing you can do to put some emotional distance between you and the situation itself is to get out into some different social situations, hang out with your kids if you have them. If you have siblings, call them up, see if they want to go do dinner, go to the movies or something different. And once you get into that groove and you start kind of coming back into balance into yourself, you'll come out of this mental conflict. You know, even for some of you, it feels like you're even still contemplating going back to this bullshit, which is probably not going to be a good idea towards. I'm just going to put that out there. But spinning your wheels, that's probably the hardest part of it, because you feel like you may have wasted time with this past relationship. And for those of you that have known the Scorpio just in another setting, in another capacity, they've probably been watching you the whole time go through whatever it was you were going through, but did not want to interfere. And I think I said that a few minutes ago. That's kind of coming back. Like, if Scorpio does know something about whatever you were in previously, they're not going to say a whole lot about it, but they're going to do their best to make sure you understand they aren't going to do you the way this other person did you. If that connection is there, they will definitely be doing their best. Even if they don't know about the situation per se, they're still going to and you'll notice the difference between this past relationship and the new situation with your Scorpio, that your Scorpio is genuinely interested in you. And so they're going to probably do a lot more communicating than maybe you were doing in your previous situation. So take the good. There's going to be some sacrifice. That's the part I didn't touch on. You're trying to weigh your options. And for real, let's just kick this about. If your ex was all that in a six-pack in the bed, but just a regular hoe, I mean just common grade hoe, trying to do everything, everybody, like I said, there's a lot of threes on the board. So if that was what was going on with your ex, and now you are kind of getting your eye on this Scorpio, because they definitely have their eye on you, there's going to be some sacrifice. A lot of times you get with the party people, that's what I call this up here. And that's usually, and for particularly, I'm talking to females now, especially if it's one of them players, and just, you know, trying to be all that and everything. Those are usually the people you have a lot of fun with. Because those kinds of people really do know how to have a lot of fun. But they don't know a damn thing about commitment, relationship, being loyal, none of that shit. Your Scorpio, on the other hand, may not be as outgoing socially as you're used to, but they are. But there's going to be a sacrifice. There's something you're going to have to give up to get something better. I don't think it should be anything with behavior. People should treat you the way you want to be treated all the time. I don't give a damn what they're doing. So it shouldn't be based on anything like that. But it should be how you feel when you're dealing with your Scorpio. I see a lot of you getting ready to go out on dates with this person, and try to get closer and do things to kind of help you bond. Pay attention, Taurus. Pay attention. Pay attention to how you feel. It feels like a lot of you up here, this energy is a lot of anxiety and frustration. Maybe even for some of you, you know, you've been dealing with somebody that really wasn't paying you too much attention at all, but you just pining away at whatever. And so there's probably a lot of built up energy. That is why I'm saying change up your social situations and begin to put some space between you and this old situation so that you've got some clearance and some room in your head and your heart to deal with the Scorpio. Let's see what the Oracle cards has got to say for encouragement for Taurus and Scorpio. The Sun Dancers. The Lady of Lightning. Oh, she's new. The Lady of the Mirror. And the Cosmos. Ooh, I ain't had the Cosmos before. Okay. I want to do the Cosmos first. I'm going to leave the Cosmos for last. Okay. So the Sun Dancers. Joyful activity, celebration of life, abundance. Joyful activity. Time to do some joyful activity. And that's the whole thing that I'm telling you. Getting out of your regular routine and getting into some different social situations. If you work and you haven't done the last 3 or 4 happy hours, now would be probably a good time to go ahead and go hang out with your folks at work. And just get your mind, not that you're trying to do anything else besides just get out of your situation and get your mind on something else. Talk to some different people, have a cigarette and a drink, and be happy. That's where that goes. The Lady of Lightning. Surprises. Sometimes shock and total paradigm shift. I'm going with surprises and total paradigm shift. And that this landed on top of the Tower and new beginnings. I'm going to say you probably should be expecting some different kind of things from your Scorpio. So if you're not used to getting flowers and candy and being loved on, get ready. That's all I'm going to say about that. Be ready for the surprises. And it's for a lot of you, it is a total paradigm shift, especially if you've been dealing with somebody that's been fucking over you and messing around and just being an asshole. This will be a total paradigm shift because now you're not just dealing with that person. You're bringing that experience with you, but now you're getting a different perspective and it's taking on a different meaning. Relationships should be taking on a different meaning to you. It's going to take some time to heal from this. But just know that as you transform and begin to shift how you feel about relationships, a lot of you may not be feeling the best about relationships, hence why you're kind of weighing your options. That's in there as well. Do I want to get into another? I guess I should just be glad my phone decided to jack up at the end of the reading. But anyway, the lady of lightning, definitely the surprises and a total paradigm shift. You're going to feel the way you are looking at your relationships. You're going to feel that change. You definitely are going to feel that. Give it time. Don't rush. Like I've been saying all summer, don't rush through the energy. Work through it, but do your best to get rid of this as fast as you can, so your Scorpio is not picking up all this excess that's just unnecessary. The Lady of the Mirror, reflection and non-judgment. The same thing with the weighing the options. When you're dealing with your Scorpio, come into it in a non-judgmental kind of way. Don't start making judgments right away. I don't like this. I don't want to do that. Give it some time. Give it some time. Give yourself, and you may just want to tell your Scorpio, you know, look, I just got out of some mess and I may be acting a little goofy, but give me some time to work through this. I'm interested. I feel like most of you are interested in this Scorpio, and this Scorpio, like I said, is definitely interested in you. So do your best to reflect and just keep the judgment out of it for the time being. Weigh those options. I know y'all gonna do that anyway, but as far as your Scorpio is concerned, don't start making a whole lot of pronouncements and judgments. If you're just getting into this, it's too early. It's gonna take some time for things to unfold. Don't push anything. Don't rush anything. Don't force anything. Let it happen naturally. The cosmos, creativity and vastness. I'm going with vastness because the universe is vast. And you have manifested something new. And that's a good thing. If you look at all those spaces and those clouds, y'all know y'all see them. I'm looking at them too. That's the universe telling you, yep, you did it. You're on. And we can say creativity with that as well, because manifesting is creating. That's what you're doing. So the universe is giving you the green light. Go ahead. It's a good thing with your Scorpio. Take your time. If this is a new relationship, those of you that's still dealing with whatever this is, this kind of overshadowing what you're trying to get into, it's in the reading for a reason. So I'm feeling like a lot of you just need to acknowledge that whatever this was a fucking mess, and you did the best that you could do, and just move on. Just walk forward and move on. I'm going to leave your reading there, Taurus. I love you. I hope you guys have a good week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.